Okay, here we are. It's Chad Edward, and I'm with Don Toney. Don Toney. We're in McLeod, near Mount Shasta, on the southern border, I guess, of Mount Shasta. And Don's a pretty interesting fellow. There's not too many people around who've been with Nikola Tesla, for one thing. Okay. And
she is.
Okay, well, Rebecca's here too. So Rebecca's going to
Come on in.
hear what we have to say. All right, we're doing a quick video, and then I'm gonna tell you something.
Okay.
So this is gonna be for probably the producers at Gaia, because we're trying to get Mr. Toney. Toney. Okay. And we're trying to get him to let humanity know what's out there. If you think Nikola Tesla had some stuff to tell us, folks, well, that's nothing. I've heard a little bit yesterday morning at breakfast and today, and it's very exciting what he's got to share with us. So without further ado, I'm going to let him take over for a couple minutes and let him talk to us. Okay. Good.
That right now.
So what can you tell us?
Life is a dream.
Well,
because nobody's living the dream.
Right.
It's all a dream. It's not reality.
It's all an illusion.
All illusion. All make believe. The reality is in your heart. And everything comes from the airless cell in your heart. That's all you are. One infinite little dot of light. All the rest is illusion. You're a hologram and thought projection of thinking activity.
Yep.
And most everything is controlled through stinking thinking rather than true activity of thought. And then everything has to arrive and enter into the now condition so that you're real and not make believe.
So we have to
that's what life is all about.
Get rid of everything that we've been taught.
Everything you've been taught is wrong.
Wrong.
You're going to have to learn all over again. You're going to have to learn to make this the paradise that it really is. But you just lost sight of it. And it's so easy to have back if you know the little secrets. And that's like everything. The secrets make you free.
Okay.
That's what life is all about. And more you react to the truth of everything instead of the belief of it, then the more activity you're going to have to exchange with and express with and be equal with.
Right.
And this all fulfills itself out. You never know abundance until you know yourself. And then abundance is everywhere. You will find this true because you move into the now state. Everything is there waiting for you. Everything we look out there and we call it air really is teeming energy of the alchemic state of motionless, waiting to be expressed. And when we are allowed to have the activity to express it, then comes love divine. And we divine that love in the expression of life.
Okay.
That's the whole story of everything.
Now, you had an interesting background years ago. You're 95 years old now.
Yep.
You met Nikola Tesla years ago. You worked for our government as a Navy Intelligence. You worked on the Philadelphia Experiment.
I was on there. I didn't work on it. I was there in intelligence.
Intelligence, okay, monitoring the experiment. And you saw everything that went on with it.
Yes, I've seen everything.
Right. And then some.
Yeah, and then some.
Okay. Well, that's another story for another day that we can save for, when you're interviewed.
I've had a very fascinating life. I was, at the age of 12, I was given the inner voice, and I've always known the truth from as long as I can remember, because I had problems with people. They weren't saying what they were thinking.
You could read their minds.
I could read their minds, yes.
Right. It could be a blessing or a curse.
No, it's a blessing.
On how you look at it.
You stop having all the problems that normal people have, because you never allow them to come into being. You learn to live more wholesome a life and a full life instead of living.
And you were telling us yesterday, because Rebecca was there at breakfast, that we have the ability to live like 7,000 years.
That's only the beginning.
Wow.
That's only the beginning. In your flesh body, you can live 7,000 years. In your light body, it's indefinite.
Indefinite.
You learn to change your body from flesh to light substance. Then you have a pure physical body, and everything changes, and the energies and everything else. So, well, there is no age in the now. Now is now. Age only exists when we count time from day to day and night to night, or day to night and night to day and day back to night. And we mark time that way. So you're in a belief system when you're marking, because there is no such thing as time.
Right. So we just got to get back to the nothingness, like you said, and realize it. Because I've seen, one of my yogis disappear in front of me.
So very, very, very real.
Yeah, once we understand.
It's just a matter of control of breath and control of the body. You can transcend your body anywhere you want. And before you arrive to where you're going to, the body will be perceived that you're going to function in there, so you can function perfectly any place in the universe.
In another body.
In another body. And when you return back, your body's waiting here for you to receive.
Okay.
And teleportate any place in the universe.
And you also have a series of books. I think you told us yesterday 7 books that are almost ready to be.
Well, there's actually 7 books, but in each book there's 7 lessons, and there's 7 series in each lesson. Okay. So that's 394 different lessons that you'll learn out of the 7 books.
Okay. And how many years would that take us to go through, do you think, just to study?
The average person would take 10 years to graduate into full light substance.
Well, that's not bad, considering we're on this planet now.
It's a long, long time.
Right. And if some people get it, I'm sure it'd take less.
Some get part of it, some get a little of it, some get more. According to the dedication as to what's being exchanged.
Okay. All right. What if you had any words of wisdom to give us, to tell humanity right now? What's the best?
Look to truth as your guidance, and fulfill the truth with life.
As Jesus said, if you know the truth will
make you free.
Make you free. Okay. All right. So we got enough for these little tidbits now on tape. What I wanted to mention to Rebecca is, and she's going to be fascinated, that he knew Mary Baker Eddy.
You're kidding.
I knew I was going to get that.
I knew everybody.
Oh, wow. You met her in person?
Oh, yes. I knew her personally. Yes. Because we had quite discussions on the way she laid out the colors, and they're improper.
Yeah, we were talking about that before I put the tape on.
Yeah. Another thing that I was given the inner voice when I was 12, and I was taught by a tree all of nature for 8 years. Every time I had a spare moment, I was at that tree. Learning more and becoming, as everything I asked, I become and experienced, and when I completed the experience, I was returned back to my body.
Hmm.
Not many people have that opportunity.
Yeah.
No, no.
Wow. Well, you know, Gaia is really interested in consciousness training now.
Yep.
That's what they want to focus on.
Well, if you could put out your book soon, you get on Gaia so these people know and all humanity knows. I mean, there's not too many. The gurus are teaching it to a certain extent, but they're doing it their way.
They only take one student. See this? I've been to Earth many, many times. But this is the first time. I've always picked one student and give it to him. This is the first time I've been allowed to put this into print.
Okay.
And I'm here on loan this time. I won't ever come back to Earth again.
This is your last.
This is my last go around with it here.
Okay, and you told us this morning it's been about 7.5 billion years.
Billion years ago, yeah.
Billion years ago.
When we first formed the light substance to form this Earth.
Okay. Well, you have, as I told you yesterday, it's been a blessing and an honor just to meet you, be in your presence.
Okay.
So we thank you for that. We're going to sign off, and we're going to do a little more
Talk
talking.
to you later.
Bye-bye.